Talk to me about producing samples versus just straight up creativity without the sample. What is that like for you? Because with you being an instrumentalist at the same time, what do you feel like you really get your rhythm off on? Is it the sample? You like, okay, let me just go ahead and recreate this hit and keep it moving, or when you just in there doing what you do?
Oh, it's a little both, man. Like even everything I've ever sampled, it still had a lot of me into it as well. So necessarily wasn't just a chop or whatnot.
Yeah.
And you know, the musician side of me said, yeah, I want to play this and that third, but a lot of times, like when I did California, like we replayed it, I replayed it, but it's still, you know, you can't recreate a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Frankie Beverly Mays.
So on that bridge, that's when the sample came back in, right? Da 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 da. Right?
You get it. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's hard to just do that.
Feel that.
It just, the way the horns was hit, like it just, you can't recreate it. There's no program alive that you can, trust me, I tried, bro. It's not possible.
So have I.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to keep in mind, back in them days, them guys, they wasn't playing on a metronome. It was all feeling.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it till you try to go chop one of them samples off, like it be off and on.
Wow.
So you got to go back in and, you know, make it on. You know?
Check this out, Hanky. Could you explain, without taking too much time, of the difference? Because you got some producers now who feel like, I don't want to sample because they take your publishing. Like, it's no, I feel there's no problem sharing your publishing. Can you explain to these young cats, for the ones who are scared to sample, you know what I mean? Can you please break some of the numbers down for them so they'll
Toomp, this was crazy. They'll say that shit and then they'll still do a record. They'll produce a record with 4, 5, 6 other producers on it.
Yeah, you still split it.
It's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you go look at it, they co-produce, they got 3, 4 people, they got a loop. Somebody that made the loop, they want something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no problem with it, because at the end of the day, if it's a hit, if I'm doing a sample and they got Frankie Beverly Mays with it, or like when I did Living My Best Life, you know, just Tony with the On the Way record.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but you splitting it with a legend who already got a fan base. You go get their fan base, you go get the new people, the old people, and it's just a bigger record.
And if you want to sample their record again, it won't be no problem, because they're loving you already. You know,
come on now.
The fire back in there.
You bring
got envelopes coming to the house again, right?
Come on now. It's that simple. So now it's like, they like, hey man, whatever you want to use. I mean,
did you try this one? They hit you like that now?
Yeah, it's like, okay, what you want to use, you know, and then you can kind of, at that point, you've proven yourself, you know, you made sure they had a great Christmas. And now you're like, hey bro,
I love the way you put that.
My Christmas was good, but they ain't as good as yours. But so can we work on that? And they be like, yeah, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I've had certain people to like, hey man, I'm gonna just give you my Pro Tools session. I'm gonna give you the masters to it.
Oh,
damn.
You need to talk.
Yeah, so I'd rather do it that way with, you know, that thing, you know, deal with their loops or their situation.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
And it's something that you already like and familiar with, you know? And just out of respect of being a musician.
Yeah, and the thing about it, like what most musicians don't understand, there's only so many ways you could put a song together and it sounds good. There's only so many chord progressions, so many melodies. So there have been times where I didn't think I was sampling, and they hit me like, oh yeah, you got a piece of this song that I ain't never heard of before.
Damn.
So I was like, you know what? And honestly, the whole sampling thing, it wasn't intentional. I was just trying to do something different for Colonel Out.
Right.
And it picked up.
Yeah, that was a big record.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was just trying to not give him the usual trap song talking about weed. I was like, let's talk about California. People already think it's about that.
But see, the beautiful thing about it is that you can sample and you still have original tracks, like, you know, Walk Around the Club.
Yeah, right.
Like that's, you know, like, so when you can prove that you can sample and you can create an original joint, come on, man, it's a well-balanced position to be in, bro.
Exactly.
So you living around here, man.
I appreciate it, man. That's big coming for you, bro.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, you know, it's not, you know, the main thing I've done. Is just, that's what's going on. That's what they want for right now.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, like I got another record coming out with Freaky Boulevard, the Oh Yeah record.
Yeah.
Just redid that one. We got Erica Banks and Beat King on. No samples on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another twerk.
So y'all about to take Freaky up out of here.
Come on, man.
What up, though,
on, man.
freaky?
Come on,
That's
man.
gonna be hard.
And then I got my single coming out with Erica again.
Yeah.
Shout out to Erica Banks, her whole 1501. They've been showing love.
Yes, sir.
Hold on now. You got to explain that when you say your single.
Yeah, talk
Let's
to
be
us,
clear
Hanky.
about that.
Talk
What
to
you
us.
got
So,
going on?
You know, I'm putting out my own records featuring artists that I'm working with. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know, like we talked about changing the narrative.
Yes.
That's what we got to do.
Now you
know?
got the handlebars. You
Come on, man.
yeah,
I ain't got to worry about, you know, when we go to these interviews, not being mentioned in the stuff. You know, or, you know, not being a part of that endorsement deal.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of taking it, you know, by our own, you know.
But I'm gonna tell you, if I don't know if you remember, I was trying to, still am. I'm on a mission to push a law to where even when they perform your songs, it's gonna show up and register somewhere to where, you know what I mean, in your publishing. That's what I've been trying to work lately.
Yeah.
It's
to get
needed.
something there to where when artists perform a song, whoever wrote that song and produced it, they should get something whenever you perform that song on stage. Some type of royalty should come to your house every
I'm
time.
with you.
Yeah.
So that way you really have control of the game, because you might give them a hit record and they feel like, hey, well, Hanky ain't got to be here, but I can go perform this somewhere. Well, you still should be able to get your residuals when they touch stage, and if they paid to perform that song.
Yeah, it's
you know?
the craziest thing ever. Like, cause like you say, you'll do songs with artists, they making 175,000, 200,000 a show, and we don't get a dime of that. That's crazy.
Management eat before you, the DJ, the van driver, security guard,
Everybody.
the show promoter, the club that's having the after party. They might make about 100,000 that night off of your song.
Off of your song that you created.
That's why that shit is so necessary.
I'm here for that.
Yeah,
I'm here
man.
for that.
No, that's great, bro.
Yeah, man. So I'm here with you in that fight, man. Whatever you need from
Okay,
me.
I got you.
Push the narrative
Keep you
forward.
informed.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Another question though, Hanky. I need to know that time that you was in the studio having that session and you was in a zone and you realized that magic was happening in there. With all of them hits that you got, how did you know that it was going down, or did you even know?
You know, I know because, like I said, I be outside a lot, and I kind of know the vibes, kind of know, you know, what the younger generation listen to, the older ones, and all that stuff. So I kind of know what'll work. And in the days, you know, no shade to the DJs these days, but they're not really. You got to make a record so different, but safe enough that the DJs don't feel. You know, DJs ain't taking that many chances on records these days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got
true.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not their fault, because they got to deal with the club promoter. You know, the club promoter done took some money from this artist, and they told him it's their single release party and the song is terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he got the club owner saying keep the party going, keep the party, and they ain't even talked about it. So the club promoter running a little play, and the DJ is caught in the middle.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of meet it in the middle to try to make it work. So I know a lot of times a lot of things can work, but it's just a matter of all these different variables got to make sense at the same time.
Yes, sir.